So it is a matter of privilege for me to introduce the first speaker for today's session, Mr. Tejus, who has joined us, who is a public policy professional currently heading the Government Affairs and Public Policy vertical at Akshaya Patra Foundation. His work involves working on expansion and advocacy initiatives for the foundation. He has previously worked with KPMG Consulting for various governments to implement policies effectively. And it is a matter of being a law graduate, it is a matter of privilege for me to announce that he is an alumnus of NLSIU Bangalore. So, welcome, Mr. Tejus, and over to you. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Tausif, for that introduction. And on the occasion of the World Food Day, it has been indeed an honor to speaking to you all and on this, very important topic. And my greetings for Advanced Center of Women Studies, AMU, Inclusive Futures Foundation, as well as Edward Cadbury Center, University of Birmingham, for arranging this very important discussion on this day. So as introduced, my name is Tejus, and I look after the government affairs and policy initiatives at the Akshaya Patra Foundation. So what I'll do is the next 25 minutes, I'll take you through a presentation, not your it will also be a lot of pictures and videos with the presentation, short videos, and then post the presentation, I'll be open for questions. I will be happy to answer. So let me just share my screen. So Akshaya Patra Foundation, today I'm going to share this story of social innovation, which has been one of the many successful one of the very few successful public-private partnership model which this country has seen since independence, and this has now gone on to grab eyeballs across the world as to how an organization headquartered in Bangalore is now tied up with various governments, working with Government of India and various state governments to have a successful social model serving for the children, especially focused on serving the children. And so the foundation was started in the year 2000, with the sole intention of feeding children at government and aided schools. It's a not-for-profit, currently implementing one of the main implementing agencies for PM Poshan scheme, earlier known as the midday meal program, the Government of India's flagship school lunch program, and we are present in about 15 states now and 2 union territories, serving over 2.3 million children across from our 75 centers. So one of the seminal policies, good policies to happen to our country came in the year 2001, when a national midday meal program was announced across the country, and and then following it up with in the year 2003, where they opened up this scheme for private organizations, especially the not-for-profit organization, to come join hands with the government in implementing this program effectively. Join hands with this mission of nourishing the children effectively for the government across the country. So that's when we started. Of course, we started with a humble beginning of serving 1,500 school children in the year 2000. That is just 1 year before the midday meal program became nationalized program, a compulsory program. But then what really helped our foundation is that government also opening up this space for organizations like ours to serve a larger groups. We started then with our vision. Now the vision of the foundation is that no child in India shall be deprived of education because of hunger. So with this sole vision that no one should drop out of school for feeding themselves. They should not choose between having a meal or getting an education. Because reports after reports we see, I think over 8.1 million children across India drop out of schools because they couldn't afford a meal, or they go in search of a meal, or they are mostly put into employment to earn for their families at a very young age. And of course, for various social reasons, women, are made to stop going to schools. Early marriage is again one of the social issues which we are fighting and combating. The foundation saw this problem in a multi-dimensional manner, and then we set out our vision that any that our total vision should be that no one should be denied education because of hunger. So we take care of this problem for you, and then you go and achieve whatever you can. So currently we are feeding about 2.3 million children, and our mission is to feed about 3 million children by 2025, which we are well on the way to do it. So this is what our kitchen looks like. Akshay Patra creates centralized kitchens. Large centralized kitchens which can cook for about, sorry, the yeah, hope you're right. I hope you're able to see the screen, or did I'm so sorry. I think you're able to see.
It's back now, Tejus.
Yeah, it's fine. Sorry. What we do is we build large centralized kitchen in an industrial manner, which cooks starts say about for about 5,000 children is the lowest, smallest kitchen we build, and then the largest kitchen goes, which can cook about 250,000 meals. Which is in Hubli in Karnataka. That's the largest kitchen that cooks about 250,000 meals in about 4 to 5 hours. So we use technology as at the heart to sort of serve the children. So how do we bring technology? We have these large rice cooking cauldrons which cooks about for 1,000 students in 15 minutes. And we have the latest roti machines in Vrindavan setup, makes about 60,000 rotis per hour. So all this technology is, designed by our employees, designed by our core team, operations teams, and then use the most hygienic cooking process. We are almost 57 kitchens of our kitchens are FSSAI 5-star certified, which is similar to the same certification which you receive for kitchens which serve at 5-star hotels. Keeping the technology and hygiene and the safe food handling processes really helps in the long term. So we have been, serving for last 23 years. God forbid there has not been a single incidence of, any adulteration or any other incidents otherwise. So what we do, we completely mechanize the process. Especially we see, there are kitchens which are multi-floored. So you start cooking from the third floor, and then the food is ready at the ground floor, where you see the conveyor belt movement of vessels in the kitchens, which is moved to the vehicles, thermostat custom-based vehicles, which then take these food to the schools. So I'll just quickly show you how the preparation happens, especially for a rice-based kitchen. So basically, Akshay Patra gives all the focus on taste, hygiene, as well as local palate. So we are very aware that we have to so when we are serving children, it has to be according to the local tastes and preferences. Hence, the South Indian kitchens are mostly the rice-based kitchens, and North Indian kitchens are mostly roti-based, the wheat-based kitchens. Of course, it also differs in the east and western of India, and then we make sure that no menu is repeated for 30 days. So, if you are eating a certain item today, then again it gets repeated after 30 days. So, this is what the preparation looks like in a rice-based kitchen. So as you see, the steam-based cauldrons is used for cooking so that it is quicker and then more efficient. And then it is transferred to large containers, chutes, which go into the vessels. These vessels are customized vessels to keep the food hot at least 75 degrees even after 2 hours, 2 or 3 hours of consumption. So this is the roti making and packing machine, which you see predominantly in the northern part of India. So you see the entire process has been machinized so that there are no quality issues, there are no safety issues. You get fresh puffed rotis at the end of the process. And we see how it's delivered now. Once it is packed, it's transported through a custom-based thermostat vehicles. So how do we ensure that there is same quality or the safety all the time? So we have something called as food control laboratory, where we have our own laboratory, and every batch of food is cooked, we take samples out of it, and then we store it, and then every frequently we sort of once in 15 days, reports are generated through these samples, and then we check for the safety and well-being of the food. And then if there is any, should there be any problem in the entire process, we have every specific vessels are barcoded, and then we can identify which vessel had the problem, and then we can identify what was the process, whether it was any contamination happened at the kitchen level, or if there was any contamination that happened outside the kitchen. So that way it's easily identified, because we have implemented technology in place. We have implemented all our vehicles are GPS fitted. We know if there is any issues with respect to a vehicle in terms of a vehicle breakdown, our IT systems flag it up, and then, immediately there's another vehicle backup which goes and serves the food, so that at the end of the day, there's no inconvenience to the children at the school level. So, of course, as I was telling you that we comply to all the FSSAI requirements, and all our kitchens are FSSAI certified. In fact, now we are converting to all our kitchen into the ISO certifications, which is the highest global standards, the ISO 22000 certifications. Now it's happening across the kitchens. So how does the program cost look like? So government of India uh, provides a subsidy, say about that's 10 cents per meal comes from government of India. And because each Akshay Patra meal is say about costs us about 17 rupees, 16 to 17 rupees on an average, depending on different location, when it is served to the end to the children and consumers. So what do we do is, that's where the public-private partnership model comes into play. The government provides for a subsidy for a cooking cost, say about 7 to 10 rupees. Different state governments and central governments have different values. But the remaining deficit, which is the borne by Akshay Patra, we as a foundation, with the help of donors, with the help of corporates, through their social responsibility, we raise these funds every year, and then this deficit amount is added to the added to the cooking cost provided by the government, so that wholesome meal is we have been able to provide to the children. Because often in a decentralized model, we hear a lot of complaints in terms of quality. We hear complaints in terms of pilferages. We see that there is a discrimination happening with the cooks. So a centralized model really sort of fixes all of these problems, and we can ensure a successful program implementation, and the end beneficiary, which are who are the children's, should be the final beneficiaries, should be the satisfied, go back home with a satisfied meal. More often than not, we have seen only studies after studies. We have seen how a good meal impacts a child overall. And more often than not, we are seeing that almost as per our survey, 36% to 38% of children who come to the schools, more often than not, the midday meal, the school lunch is the first meal of the day. So it becomes really important for us to know what the importance of this meal for the growth of the children, for their retaining the attention span in the school, because hungry stomach can never focus, can never have that attention span for what is being taught at school. So investing in the future becomes really important as a foundation. So this is by so whatever we raise the fund, the entire money, 92% of it goes directly towards feeding the children. The rest 8% is, of course, the administrative cost, and the setting of the kitchens, and all of this goes, the 8% goes the. So this is the reach so far right now, feeding about 2.3 million children across 75 kitchens in 15 states and 2 union territories. So we have capacity to feed about close to 3 million children, but due to lack of funds or due to lack of resources, because sustainability is something which we keep at core. So if whenever we feel that we are sustainable to serve a location, to serve a particular place, then we go ahead and start. Once we start, we don't stop. It's a commitment for life. Currently, we are operating at less than our capacity, but we intend to expand as and when we go forward. So this was the public-private partnership model I was explaining for the program, how subsidies are collected, how government provides, and what not-for-profit other philanthropic arms or corporates are helping us and coming on board as our implementational partners. So these are the various state government. Of course, there's the larger umbrella. This is a central government scheme called the PM Poshan program. But we also work. There's also state share. State also share the cost along with the union government. Because of this, they are our chief patrons, and because of their vision, because of the vision of the government to feed the children, is where we have been able to implement successfully so far. So what are these are the various to build an organization we need various partnerships. So a Harvard Business School has done a case study on Akshaya Patra on its feeding program. AC Nielsen has done the impact study a couple of times, and then you see various government organization, aided organization, ICRISAT, IFPRI, Indian Institute of Science has a Akshay Patra research lab, which continuously monitors the long-term effects of the school lunch program provided by Akshay Patra, and they also research on various other programs on malnourishment, food security, and they also help us in advocating for policies. They develop the policies so that we can reach out to government and advocate better for the improvement of the program. So we also have the executive director of World Food Program coming to Rome, and he is extending his support to the program, what we are doing, and then also inviting us to feed globally or implement a similar program in partnership with World Food Program. So these are the major milestones initiated in the year 2000. As I told, that you started with 5 schools with 1,500 children. In the year 2012, we did our first cumulative billion meal. It was served by the then president, Dr. Abdul Kalam, and then. Sorry, this was by N.R. Narayan Murthy, the first million meal. The second billion meal was served by the then president Dr. Pranab Mukherjee, and then the third billion meal was served by Dr. Narendra Modi ji in 2019, and we recently served the 4 billion meal that happened at the UN. So the United Nations recognized our contributions towards SDG 2 of making strides towards a world of zero hunger. So it was a very successful event earlier this year in at the United Nations headquarters in New York. So what are the forecasters tell? Why do we need to work on towards the children? So every or serving for towards this program, every $1 invested, fight against the undernutrition and it creates a long-term impact. It generates between $16 to $20. This is the Global Nutrition Report, and the World Bank and FPRI report also tells us a similar story. Every $1 invested generates about $18 in terms of economics. So it becomes really crucial to invest in the future. We see the world in a long term. Not many governments think in investing for the children, as compared to say a defense budget or any other budget. Government it's very minimal that the government focuses on children, which should be otherwise. We should focus more on the future. That's when you get the maximum economic benefits. So, as a foundation, we are also awarded for our transparency. We have, financial transparency. The Indian Chartered Accountants Institute, which is a premier organization of accountants, they have provided us 7-time award, Gold Shield Award for transparency, and we became the first NGO to go on their Hall of Fame because we have been consistently performing good on the transparency, financial transparency bit that they put us as the first NGO to be on the Hall of Fame. So these are some key acknowledgement which we have received. Our chairman received the fourth highest civilian award, and we were awarded with Gandhi Peace Prize. The government of Japan gave us a Nikkei Asia Award. And we also have, of course, I spoke about the Harvard and Stanford case studies, which was done, and then, of course, coverage you see very frequently of the work we are doing. And there's also a book called God's Own Kitchen by Rashmi Bansal, which in detail captures the story of Akshaya Patra and how it started, and how it scaled up, what are the challenges faced by the organization, is all very well captured in this book. So, in summary, now, of course, we're feeding 2.3 million children every day. That's the latest statistics. And also, we sort of realize that these kitchens need not be just fed just for the school children. So, beyond 10:30 in the morning, our kitchens lay empty. So, what do? We then realize, COVID came in as our, teacher to us. So, we use their facilities to give grocery kits to people across India. We have been able to cook meals during COVID, and then we made there was so much of vaccine hesitancy at in the starting of the COVID, and then we partnered with the government and then started giving out food kits to people who take vaccines. So we were able to also provide something called as Shakti kits to pregnant and lactating women, especially from rural areas, women in rural areas who are high anemic and iron deficiency. These are some of the programs which we do, and then of course we also do in Delhi. We serve almost 10,000 meals every day for the homeless people at the shelter homes in Delhi. So it's a 3 square meals which goes. It's a partnership with the Delhi government, and then all the homeless people in these shelter homes are fed by the foundation. So this is the overall India map, which you see where we have covered during the COVID. So in cumulative, of course, it was a mix of both grocery kits and cooked meals. So close to 250 million meals was captured, and almost every part of India was covered during this 29 months of COVID, especially for the underprivileged sections, for people who've lost jobs, people who have the unorganized labor who were stuck in various parts of India and they didn't have mobility to go back homes. We particularly reached out to them and then, served these kits, which lasted at least for a week or 10 days to them so that they have something immediately. Of course, I can also recall some international initiatives which we did in 2015 in the Nepal earthquake. We set up a temporary kitchen for about 6 months while the entire country was being rebuilt after the aftermath of the earthquake. And we set up a temporary kitchen in Poland when people in Ukraine, because of the war, were returning to were fleeing the country. We set up kitchen there to feed especially the diaspora and other students in the universities who wanted food, who had been walking for kilometers together to flee the country. That's where we also did something. And then In the Turkey earthquake, we sent some essential kits, grocery kits, and essential items last year. We have a full-time initiative. We have a kitchen in London, which particularly focuses on serving kids during the holidays, the hot cooked meals during holidays to cover their holiday hunger, because government doesn't generally focus on providing food for children there. So these are some of the international initiatives the foundation has taken. We see how do you nourish a dream? What keeps us going is the children themselves, nothing else. All these expansions, all the technology, striving to be better is for the future of the children. So we see their dreams, we reach out to them regularly. We have relationship officers at the school level who go and take feedback from the children themselves on the food, on the quality, on the taste, on their preferences. And then we come back and implement, and that's how the children love us, we love them, and then that's how it has been going for the last 23, 24 years. So I'll just end this presentation with a small video nourishing how we nourish a dream. So this was about Akshay Patra and its journey and our focus areas. So thank you so much for the time. I can take questions now.